Hey, what's up, everybody? Radar here, mainly with some commentary, with some gameplay running in the background. And as you can see in the title, that is our subject matter. It's before I really go into that. Let's say it's been a while. I haven't really been posting much of anything recently. Life be like that. But trying to get back into the flow of things, see if I can put up some videos every now and again, be it commentary about a particular subject or some actual gameplay. But for this one, we're going to go into what is the tank simulators that we seem to be in dire lack of. So, I mean, you can look at the combat vehicle genre right now, and it's actually looking really good across the board for like military sim level stuff, except for tanks. Like, what happened to that? So, the big boys in the tank side of things, let's get the elephant out of the room, is going to be World of Tanks and War Thunder. These games are massive. They're incredibly fun. Like, I enjoyed playing them. They're pretty good. I hadn't played World of Tanks or War Thunder a hot minute. Kind of burned out for me. I don't really feel like I want to play the arcade thing as much anymore. Like, I'm not really interested in popcorn, like quasi tank arcade sim stuff. But those are like when you say tank game to anybody, you like mention tank simulation, that's usually the first thing that comes to mind. But let's be honest with ourselves. They are essentially fast-paced shooters, skinned up to be tanks. Like, like with World of Tanks, you got a health bar. War Thunder, you got a damage model, but it's balanced for competitive multiplayer more so than straight realism. And that Russian bias, we all know that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. And it's like, that's fine. It's still fun. I put over a decade into War Thunder. I was playing that since beta. Same with World of Tanks. I played that for many years and then hopped over to War Thunder. They're, those games are designed, to, you hop on, you blow some stuff up for 15 minutes, and then maybe more if you're really just digging deep to grind those tech trees, and then you just bounce. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not true simulation. It's a little bit too video gamey. And there's its place for that. It's still fun, but I don't know, I'm at that age now where I'm kind of looking for something I can invest a little bit more time in. It's less, Twitch shooter and more simulation realism. Because you're not managing your fire control systems, you aren't manually lasing targets and coordinating a crew, in a metal box. It's very top level. You're just kind of having fun with tank shaped, things. And now if we go all the way over to the opposite side of the spectrum, you have the big granddaddy of modern tank sims, Still Beast, which is so realistic that militaries have custom versions of that to train their crews. The pricing is ridiculous. Learning curve is crazy. You need a straight up a manual, like a training manual to operate that stuff, which, there is a place some people really want that stuff. We all know DCS, the fully modeled out jets. You're flipping switches, pressing buttons, doing all the works, and it's fun. I have played DCS. I would be playing some more of that, but my current living space don't really have room with my desk and setting up my HOTAS and all that jazz. But there is a space where that, and it's actually kind of satisfying doing that kind of stuff. But that's in the jet side. On the tank side of things, someone in the comments mention comments below what you like about the Still Beast, but because I hadn't had a chance to actually play Still Beast. I played M1 Tank Platoon 1 and 2, and that's been my main tank sim stuff, because we really don't have very many tank sim stuff on the market. Still Beast, then you got M1 Tank Platoon series, and then the latest is going to be Gunner Heat PC, which I'll get into a little bit. But yeah, and so obviously AAA gaming studios aren't filling that gap. It's too much complexity to fill that out. We all know AAA developers, well, not necessarily developers, but in general developers / publishers, they're going for that top level stuff. They're not going deep. They're trying to put stuff on the market that will get them the most cash. And simulation games, especially stuff like tank sims and jet simulation, is very niche. They're not looking to put millions of dollars into niche markets. In the same breath, they're kind of oversaturating the current markets, and they're having diminishing returns. But that's a completely different video for another time. So we're not going to get it from there. But the good news is we got independent developers. The small indie guys. The gameplay footage I got right now is Gunner Heat PC. It's not super deep simulation level stuff. You can't, well, at least right now, you can't actually see inside your tank's turret or tank in general. But it's kind of hitting that spot, that itch when it comes to M1 Tank Platoon. It's really hitting that itch. There's still a lot of work needs to be done with the AI and a whole bunch of stuff. But it's getting there. It's actually pretty fun to play with. And it has you have your thermal optics, your ballistics seems to be pretty solid. The different weapon, munitions you use changes how you engage stuff. You can call in support aircraft or artillery and the like. You got multiple vehicles you can actually work with, so it's not just the tanks. You can get some light infantry fighting vehicles and the like can be operated. I don't know how far they're going to expand out on that front, but that's something that's in the game. And it's right now is my go-to. I still feel like it's not quite where it needs to be, but it shows some hope that if we can even have more than just Gunner Heat PC, I hadn't been looking around too much. I should have done a little bit more research before doing this video, but if you look, you can see some independent developers stepping up to the plate and having a fair swing at doing a tank sim. You got a couple of them out there, and you can get a pretty good price for it. But yeah, that's all I'm really going to say on that front. Just a little drop in, let you know I'm still alive, and this is what I'm looking at when it comes to tank simming and tank gaming in general. And that's kind of been one of my mainstays on this channel. And I'm planning to do more commentaries, not just on sim stuff, but proper gameplay commentary, other games that I play out there. I'll probably have a word or two about Star Citizen, because that's just a whole other thing. That's just yeah, we're not going to go down that road right now. But I would say, if you would please stay tuned, because if you enjoyed this little dive here, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until next time, I will see you guys later.